Hope everybody's great. Good to see you guys. It's great to be here in Fiserv Forum for me for the first time, for the majority of our guys for the first time. We've been waiting for this opportunity for a long time, and the guys were just really, really excited to get on the court. Really didn't matter that it was an exhibition game. It really didn't matter that it was a Division II opponent. We just wanted to play in Fiserv Forum, our home floor, in front of some of our fans. I thought our student section brought great energy. So, hopefully that's a sign of what's to come all season long. But it's all the best programs that I've been at and that I've seen as an opposing coach have one thing in common, and that's a really special relationship between the fans, particularly the student section, and the players on the team. And you could start to feel that building even tonight. We're at the infant stages, but I appreciate our students for coming and supporting us. This is just the first step for us. Obviously, the competition ramps up from here, but I thought our guys did a really good job of trying to execute our game plan offensively and defensively, showed the ball relatively well. We were a little streaky shooting the ball, but I thought we got good shots for the most part, a few too many turnovers. On the defensive end, we did a really good job getting our hands on the basketball. We had 54 deflections, which is, I think, the highest number I've ever had. Now, it is an exhibition game against a Division II team, so we'll see how many deflections we have on Tuesday. But our goal is 32. So anytime our guys are that active, it really impacts the defensive end and the offensive end for us. Just excited about where we can go from here. We have a lot of growing to do. We have a lot of improving to do, and that's as a team, and that's also individually.
Shaka, just a couple of housekeeping things. Greg didn't play today. I know you've been managing his load a little in the preseason, or is there something new there?
No. Greg had a lapse of judgment and had a failure to adhere to our department policies. So not only is he going to miss tonight, or was he going to miss tonight, but he's going to miss our first 4 games. He's still a important member of our team. We still love him. We care about him. But one of the things that I think is important to Marquette, and I think one of the things that's important to the leadership here and to me is that we hold these guys to a certain standard. So that's why Greg wasn't out there. He's been practicing. He's been doing a really good job. And honestly, if it wasn't for that, he'd have been in the game and playing significant minutes. But it's about the whole person, and hopefully something Greg can learn from.
Kean didn't get in the game. Is that a redshirt?
Kean's going to redshirt. Yep, Kean's going to redshirt. And, we wanted to kind of simulate a game day for him this year, redshirting. And so, he got multiple workouts in, a lot of time focused and spent on his game. I'm excited about the progress that he's already making with our strength coach, Todd Smith. He's as athletic as anyone on our team. We're working on helping him learn to stop when he gets going so fast. He's already made progress on that, but yeah, he's going to redshirt this year.
And for the game, you guys took 41 of your 74 shots were three-pointers. Is that a high number for you, or is that kind of what you want to see out of your team, how you want to play?
It's a high number, but if they're good shots, we'll take them. We keep track of shots by putting them in one of 3 categories, Ben. Category 1 is the deep paint. So, anytime Kerr or Oso gets a dunk, that's category 1. Normally category 1, pretty high percentage shots. Category 2 is uncontested three-point shots. Again, normally that's a pretty high points per possession because you get 3 of them, 3 points for that. And then category 3 is everything else. And normally that's a pretty low points per possession. So a contested 3 or a mid-range shot or anything really that's contested that's not deep around the basket. So I would say most of those 41 threes were uncontested category 2 shots. We missed some of them. That's okay. We're going to have games where we don't shoot the ball well, but Cam Jones, Tyler Kolek, David Joplin, Justin, Stevie Mitchell. We've got a lot of guys that can make shots when they're open, so we want to keep creating good shots for them.
Shaka, you mentioned Tyler. You know, he led the team with 15 points. Obviously shot the ball well from the three, but he also led the team with 7 assists. So what do you like about Tyler's game today?
Yeah, you know, Tyler's been probably the best all-around of our guards since we started practice. And, you know, he's just a very, very hard-working guy that holds himself to a high standard. He's a really good shooter, but I'll tell you what he's done probably better than shooting since we started practice is making plays for other guys, creating for other guys. So, you know, they asked me on the radio who our point guard is. We try to do that by committee just because of the nature of who we have on our team. But he's been the steadiest guy with the ball in his hands and also the best guard at creating shots for others.
You ran some lineups out there, the 4 freshmen playing at the same time with Oso.
Yeah.
What did you want to see out of that, and what did you think?
I mean, we weren't really necessarily trying to look at that lineup as much as trying to get those guys in the game and get them experience. You know, I go into every game, Ben, and I have like a rundown of how many minutes I'm going to play each guy, but it's like out the window when the game starts. I mean, some of them played a lot more than I had written down on the paper for them, but you know, you get out there in an exhibition game, and you know, fortunately, we were able to build a lead, and you want to let some of those young guys that have never played before get a lot of experience. So I was pleased with the fact that, you know, really to a man, they all did some good things. I thought E and Jop, you know, looked a little nervous at times out there. You know, Stevie's still learning a lot of things, but I thought they all did some really good things. Cam, I took him out one time because he didn't shoot. He's been terrific all preseason, Cam Jones. You know, he's got a real chance to score a ton of points here in 4 years at Marquette. But he's got to continue to improve at the defensive end and all the things that go into being a great all-around player.
Coach, speaking of the freshmen, I thought Stevie was very poised out there. He did a little bit of everything out there on the floor. What did you like about his game?
Yeah, Stevie's, you know, he's just a winning guy. And he's still learning. So there's so many details out there that he needs to learn and improve on. I would say of all the freshmen, he and then maybe Amarion, it was the biggest adjustment in terms of the level of play. Cam Jones is from Memphis. He's seen a lot of really good players. You know, Jop, you know, played against the great player at UW Milwaukee 3 times a year. Stevie's from Sinking Spring, Pennsylvania, and I think he's used to his team needing him to wear a ton of hats and do all the scoring. And so it's been an adjustment for him, but I think he's made it really well. And he's a high character person. In fact, Cam Jones and Stevie Mitchell, the last coaching staff here, Coach Wojo's staff, they deserve phenomenal credit for recruiting those guys because as a coach coming in, you could not inherit 2 higher character guys than those 2. And then I really appreciate the fact that they stayed with Marquette, even though they didn't know me, they didn't know our staff. And it says a lot about who they are as people. But that last staff deserves a ton of credit. And they recruited those guys during COVID, you know, so they didn't even get a chance to go see them in person. But those 2 guys are going to be foundational guys for us here moving forward. And they're going to take some lumps at times this year as freshmen, but they're high-character winning guys.
Obviously, this is your first time experience a game at Pfizer Forum, like we mentioned earlier. But right before the game, when you heard your name called and then followed by a pretty loud cheer from the crowd, what was going through your mind in that moment?
Well, it's just great to be in this arena. You know, I've had a chance to go to a few Bucks games, and so we've been, you know, kind of envisioning this opportunity to actually play a game, or in our case as coaches, coach a game. So, it's really exciting that the season is here, and I mean, this arena is so nice. You know, I've not. You know, I don't know if I've been in an arena this nice. Maybe Barclays when it first opened is right up there with it. But you know, it's almost like it feels like it just opened, even though it's a few years old. So we're excited to see if we can just continue to build a group and a program and a style of play and a spirit about us that people want to come back and watch. We know we have a long way to go and a lot of work to do with that, but hopefully tonight, you know, the people that came to watch us got a chance to see a lot of spirit and enthusiasm from our guys and a level of just passion for each other and passion for winning.
Shaka, you guys had 22 assists on 32 made baskets. The ball seemed to be popping, especially when Tyler was out there. What do you think of that aspect? And you mentioned the 13 turnovers on the other side. What do you think was the cause of those?
Just a little bit of sloppiness, and you know, I think, you know, you got, let's see, E had 3. Omarion Ellis, like, you guys are seeing literally a baby deer, but when he grows up, he's going to be something else. He's just not there yet, and you know, one of the things that's humbling about coaching is you don't have control as a coach over how quickly a guy like that gets there. So I think just a little bit of sloppiness from some of the guys. And then, you know, we'll take, I think our goal is like 12 or less. So 13 is not a terrible number, although it kind of felt like there was, you know, a lot that we could have held on to. But I thought our guys shared the ball well. We had 24 assists in our scrimmage against Boston College. 22 is a pretty good number tonight, particularly we missed a lot of open threes. So I think if we make a few more of those, that number could be easily 25, 26 assists. This team has got to share the ball and play for each other. You know, we don't have Marcus Howard that we can just throw the ball to and he can get a bucket. He actually texted me earlier today, and it was awesome to hear from him and just feel the fact that he was thinking about Marquette and Marquette basketball. But it also reminded me, man, that guy could really score, and we don't necessarily have that on our team. But that's okay. We can score by committee, and I think you saw that tonight.
That's it. Thanks.
Thank you, guys.